Hello, welcome or welcome back to Wholesome and Natural Living. I'm Maudlin and I gardened in Zone 7B. Glad you're here. So today we have different types of goals. So it's currently August 31st, so it's kind of like the end of the garden season, and I've been collecting a lot of tomatoes, peppers, and there's still other things I have to pick up, but I'm letting them ripen and it's the end of the summer garden season, so it always makes me a little bit sad because that's where I get the most joy, the most sun, and it's exciting. We're all sharing what we are learning on YouTube. I love my other garden channels, so it's bittersweet, but that means that it's not the end. However, you can still plant some fall crops. So I actually started a few things already a few weeks ago, and so I'm going to transplant them and my GreenStalk here. So I never take this one down. It stays on our balcony year round. This is my second time doing this. That other one, however, I will take it down because it was mostly peppers and herbs, and my strawberry tower is gonna go down as well. So I'm gonna show you some of the things that I'm going to be transplanting. So I started these like maybe about 6 weeks ago. So they're ready to be transplanted into a permanent spot. And I'm also starting another project. I'm going to, so around this time when I don't have access to fresh salads, as you can see, my salads are about, brown now. I mostly rely on microgreens to supplement. And if you know anything about microgreens, they're much quicker to grow. It's a much easier turnaround, like, within a week and a half sometimes. And it's a great supplement, and they're actually more nutritious than the regular, because they're compact and more dense than the full-grown, leafy greens. So I'm going to start that, and I'm going to take you with me with all that. But first, I'm going to show you what the main garden looks like, and then I'm not going to do a lot of planting in the main garden, but just to show you what I have so far, what's dead, what's definitely gone, and what I have to look forward to, the final pickings in the next maybe 3 weeks or more. So my kids are also getting some last summer fun in the pool, because that's gonna go soon. So this is my tea area. You guys know I'm big on teas, even though I haven't shared recipes. I'm perfecting them, but I drink at least 2 cups of tea every night. My kids kind of live on this stuff, so I had to have a tea area, an herbal area. So these were dried lavender, and we've been using those to make calm down tea. One of my kids is diagnosed with autism, ADHD, although that's not the case anymore. He's doing so much better. This is lemon balm. This is drying, so it's good because I won't have to dry it on its own. These are already dried. This was mint. This was so bushy during the summer garden season. I've collected a lot of cucumbers and zucchini. Well, zucchini from this, but that plant has been it's been dying for a while now. It gave me the last zucchini, and that was that. This is also part of my tea area. So hibiscus, if you don't know hibiscus and chamomile. I didn't attempt to grow chamomile this year, but I bought these hibiscus plants and put them in the ground throughout the garden, because that's a flower that's very important to me, has someone with a Caribbean background, from Haiti, but in general, it's just a good plant to have in your backyard, a good flower. So this is part of my tea area. Right here, this tower, this will remain. Last year I took this down, but I think it will be fine if I just leave it there and then just cover it when we get frost and snow. But do you see the situation? Like how many of these I have? I've collected, this is so prickly, I have to be careful. I've collected like 4 like grown ones on the other side, not grown, like bigger ones on the other side. And I think I have 4 here. Yeah, 2 and then 4, and I think that will be it for the season. So yeah, so we'll take this plant down in a few days. And I still have some big peppers that are on this. So this tower, I'm gonna take it down, have some strawberries that are still not quite ready. Yeah, garden snacks. So I will take this down in a few. The lesson for me, and I'm gonna do a garden lesson video, but one of the lessons that's obvious for me is that to start. So one of the lessons this year for me was to start. I'm gonna do a lesson video, but to start my melons a lot sooner because I'm not getting any melons. This is not gonna get any bigger, and this plant looked like it's like, you know, it's really not doing anything. I've decided to let most of these basil plants dry on their own. Sorry, plane. Okay, and that has been working out. So I just collect what I need, and I'm going to work on my basil pesto vegan style. So this is my perennial here. It's fine. I'm going to bring inside the aloe plant. The perennial I was referencing is the rosemary plant. I cover it in the winter time when we get, like, you know, a lot of snow, but then it's fine. This is the 3rd year with this plant in the garden. I've been harvesting tomatoes like crazy, guys. So it's gonna be another round of that because there are plenty more. It's hard to see them because they are green. Again, excuse my kids, they're final few full days. Yeah, so it's hard to see them because most of them are green, but I collected a bunch of tomatoes a few days ago and I have more to collect. All right, so peppers. So we have a lot more peppers that are, this plant I think is going to continue because it's still blooming. It's still flowering a little bit, so we'll see how long I can keep this will be kept. I had cucumbers in this area, and as you can see, this is died. It's pretty much gone. So I do have to do a final maintenance of collecting, you know, tomatoes and peppers and eggplants, but for the most part, this is kind of like getting ready to wrap up the summer garden season, the summer and spring. This will stay, it's fine. I'll probably cover it, but it will come back next season. Outside of the fence, we have, I think this, I can't remember which one is the raspberry or blueberry. No, I'm sorry, blackberry and blueberry. I can't remember if it was this one or that one, but it's supposed to get bushier and bushier, and then I'm guessing like next year maybe something will happen. But this lavender plant did not dry as fast, so I'm very happy about that. So we're still making teas from that plant exclusively. What else? And the marigolds have been looking so pretty lately. We're going to walk past my apple tree. I'll do a video of what happened with that, and come to the grapevine area. So as you'll see, the grapes are doing fine in this bag, and in a few weeks should be ready. I want to say maybe October. That's when they were ready last year, but I'm getting a lot more than the previous years. So that was quickly showing you what I have in the main garden, but I also have a lot of stuff on my balcony, so I'll just quickly show you guys that. I don't think I did that before. But I have strawberries growing and I have peppers, but this I'm just going to close it out last because my kitchen, it's on my balcony, so it's no big deal. And this is the extended garden in terms of I keep this as long as possible because it means that I don't have to buy peppers. So I'll cover them. I'll do more in terms of making sure to protect them from frost versus being in the main garden, because that's a separate thing. So let me show you. So I still have some strawberries going in this tower here. We've been picking them like crazy, so not too many left, but yeah, it's gonna stay here until we get some serious frost. Next to it is my peppers and herbs. So I have some peppers that are changing colors. These are mostly sweet peppers, so there's a ton on this plant. And then I have this big one here. I can't recall what they are anymore. So yeah, so I'm going to save these to make my final round of hot sauce. So all on top are hot peppers, and at the bottom are sweet peppers. And I also have some mint that has now started to dry versus the one in the garden. They're already gone. So yeah, so I try to my best to like water this a lot more and pay more attention to it. That way it does stay a lot longer. And then this is my other project that I'm gonna be working on because I don't have access to a lettuce anymore. So sorry, my son is banging on something. I'm going to start my round of microgreens. So I have my seeds lined up. I get my seeds from True Leaf Market when it comes to microgreens, and so I'm going to make sure I have 4 trays and see, start that cycle. But for now, to end this video, I'm going to transplant. You can see this tower stays up, and I've already cleaned like the last bottom towers, actually the last 3, because I'm making room for the fall crops. So I'll have cabbage, carrots, leafy greens, acorn squashes, and other frost tolerant crops that will do well in my zone. For many of them, it's my first time planting them, like the acorn squash, but I know that's a fall winter crop, so hopefully it does well. And then I'm keeping those that are on top because gradually I'll be cutting them and drying them. So this is my big patch of oregano. I dry oregano. Oregano has a lot of medicinal uses as well as being antibacterial, so I'm going to use that to make cough syrup. So the drier it is, drying in the sun, and next to it is thyme. So I use these herbs in their dry form to make fall remedies for my kids and I. So that's why they're on top, because they can start drying much better, and I can kind of transition this tower from bottom to top. All right, so here we go. Somewhere remove my labels. I had labels like this for each one of these cells, but one of my kids did that. That's okay. I still remember. So it's leeks, broccoli, turnip, and I had this tray is really just tomatoes and sage, and I want to grow indoor, so I'm going to leave that. So not planting this in the tower because they're going to go indoors. So I'm also experimenting with indoor planting this year, which is very exciting. So I'm going to put I started these guys back in, I want to say mid-June. So they, oh my god, there's a worm or something on when I was about to show you anyway. So they're very much root bound, and I got these from Epic Garden, so I like them for fall planting, because I tend to leave my fall crops in the trays for a while. So all I'm gonna do is just assign them. I already have each tower in my GreenStalk planter, which I don't have outside here, but I already did that when I planted them, when I planted the trays. So I'm just gonna put them where I had marked them, and then just gonna go around at the bottom. I already did the acorn squash, which is right here. And then let's see, I think this has to be turnip, so that has to go here. Turnip. So I'm just placing them, and then with my free hand, once I put my phone down, I'm going to make sure it's well planted in the soil, and then water them, and then leave them to grow for the fall. All right, so I'll come back and show you the final work. Okay, so everything is in the proper area. Make sure you can see this. So all of them are, I think I have one up here that's better, where they're supposed to be. And so at the bottom, I have more of the fall stuff. And like I said, this is the only tower that will have pops in it for the remaining time that I can garden. So we shall see. So I'll water this and then give you guys the update. So yeah, it may be the end of the spring and summer gardening season, but the fall season is just as exciting. It's just, you know, you're not gonna get the herbs in their most fresh form, so we have to take them dry and other formats, but that's fine. So it just means that we're getting ready for the next year, next season. So I'm going to, actually I've started preserving some things, making some sauces. If you guys want to see that, let me know how I make my marinara sauce with tomatoes that I have from my garden, as well as that I purchased from the farmer's market, because I don't produce enough tomatoes on my own to make my own sauces. And I make sauces for, if I'm honest, it really just lasts until December, but I'm really pushing myself to make it last until March or April next year. So that means I have to do a lot more canning. And I got a tip from Becoming a Farm Girl, Cassandra. She said that she does her more serious canning in January. So I'm gonna try that. So I'll probably just do just enough to get me through January or the regular December, and then we'll do a second batch of canning in January for maybe May, when I start getting fresh tomatoes again. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful, informative, and enjoyable, all of that. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye.